some of it.
Oh, goodness. So Lotus Chronicles today is inviting, introduce yourself.
Shayna Hargens, the connection queen and motivational coach.
Yes, this girl has inspired me so much, and I have had her on my schedule for a long time, and so excited to just chat with you and have a conversation just around who you are as a person and what has inspired me so much about Shayna. I put together some questions, and I wanted her to meet all of my friends on Facebook. I want to really just open up my life and the women that I surround myself with to have your story be told and to be able to just connect with you in this way. So I sent some questions to Shayna, and one of those questions is, you call yourself the connection queen, and tell us where the title came from and how it shows up in your work.
Well, connection. That, if I were to stem that back to something, it would be kind of a generational code of, I'm a millennial of baby boomers, and most millennials are of Gen Xers. And so baby boomers are the connection generation. Okay. And that's where I come from. And that's what we need as people, as humans. Like, we are built for connection. And it seems to be something that we're missing. So, I don't know, to have it in my title is something that resonates, and it's something that other people want. And it's something that I can give them and give away.
And I think that's where I connect so much with you, is that connection piece, because that's how I've built my life, is around community and like what that connection looks like. And I think I think that piece of you, and I honor that piece in you so much, is the connection part, right? And so what led you to start to create planners and connection pieces and stepping into this motivational work using connection?
The biggest thing that led me is that drive for that connection. And like, okay, how do women find fulfillment? How to like put it in our everyday? You bring up planners, right? How do we put it in our everyday? So it's not just something we put on a shelf, or that we wait for, someday I'll have that thing, right? We can have fulfillment and connection every single day. And so then to place it in our daily life is where it's at. It's where it needs to be. And we can do that on so many different levels and scales and angles and whatever. But as long as we're doing it,
right,
that moves that needle forward as to what it is that's been put on your heart and that focus for you.
Yeah, so can you tell me a little bit more about how you bring connection into your work and into your everyday life? Because I know of some of the things which I think are so amazing, and the planner piece is a big part, because I use a planner, I mean, all the time, and for you to share that with me I was so grateful. And so can you share with me a little bit more about how that piece kind of comes together?
Yeah, so the planner, so I have this ISO prosperity planner that I've designed, and right now it's on a printable version. So I share it with workshop attendees and different people that are connected into what I do. And it stemmed from working with these women with that same question, like, how do I do it all? Right? How do I be in corporate sales and get all of my boxes checked in that realm, and then also check my boxes as a mom and a wife and a friend and a whatever, right?
Right. How do we fit all of this into one? Yes.
And so what I did, we called it calendar conquering, and we would just strip it all down and put it back together with that foundation. And I've since started this thing. Every month I do a guided planning session. Okay. And so we walk through the 4 basics, or the 4 elements of identity-based planning.
Okay.
And we walk through those 4, and we walk through like how to master each piece of those 4 that allow us to check all those boxes. without like, oh, well, on Tuesdays I don't check any boxes or whatever it might be. But you make the rules. So maybe it is Tuesday. That's your day that only one box gets checked. Right? But you make the rules. And so with identity-based planning, you have that option to master all of those things and have all of that available to you. So it's very much a empowerment thing for me to lead women into a place to where every moment feels connected.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. So, because I'm a really busy girl, I've got multiple businesses, and what I just love the planning, right? I'm a planner. I use highlighters like my whole life. Sometimes I share my planner with people. I've shared mine with you. And so it's like the highlighting, and I heard these pieces, like eat the frog, right? Monday is always my eat the frog day. And I thought it was so funny. Somebody had used that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to use that because, again, it helps me get the things done that I need to do. But what I was doing for so many years is leaving out the connection, right? I was leaving out the family time. And now, like, my own personal time is in pink. And my kiddos are in, so my little Aspie is in purple and Timber is in blue. And so I know I have to have those pieces on my planner. So what other pieces do you kind of advise people, like when, you need to get things done, right, as a mom, but also like life happens, right? And I think we've talked about this before. Like sometimes it's like it goes out the door. So what would you give the women that may be watching us right now, or the men as well, but what would you like guide them in or help them with?
Well, number one, I said it earlier, you make the rules.
Okay, I love that.
Like I could just leave the answer with that. Like you make the rules, right? And so taking it from there, right? So I can tell you a story. Client, her name is Kelsey, and she was a financial advisor. Okay, she had boxes to check. Like she had criteria to meet for her job, right? But she also wanted to not miss the last 16 that she did miss of like a Thursday lunch with mom thing at the kids' elementary school, right? And okay, so how do we fit that in? Well, if that spot is taken every Thursday for lunch, even though one of those is your kid, then the other one is lunch with a friend, and then the next one is the bubble bath, then the next one is the massage. But that is the time where like you get that phone call, hey, can you meet on Thursday? Not at noon, right? And so with Kelsey, that's what we did. We checked all those boxes. Okay, we need this many client appointments. We need to be in the office for these hours, blah, 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 blah. But not this time. Right? Because essentially, she's still making the rules. She's following some, right? But that Thursday at noon became her time. And so she never double booked herself again over that kid's lunch hour, right? That lunch with mom.
Yeah, because it's so important, right?
Because otherwise you get to that Thursday and you're like, they sent me the email 2 days ago. What the heck, right? And so then if okay, it's Thursday, it may just be a moving target kind of Thursday, right? No matter what, if you called me and said, hey, can you do this thing on Thursday at noon? Her answer would have been no. Right?
Beautiful.
So it goes back to you make the rules.
And it's like setting those boundaries too. And I think that too in my life and how I've kind of done things is so many times I'm like, oh, it's okay, right? It's okay. My kids know mom's busy. And what I realized is that, like I shared, Aspen and I actually did a live video and my middle daughter. And what I learned is like, I thought I knew what they needed from me, but I didn't. I thought showing up and buying the things for them or whatever it might have been was the checking the box, right? But actually it was going to the game. It was making it to the event. And I was like, if anyone knows me, like sitting through events is not my jam. Like I am not, that is not my, it doesn't really bring me a lot of joy. But I've learned to let it bring me joy, right? And so I think going with that, you also, with the Connection Queen, you're into gratitude.
Big time.
Oh my gosh, girl. like I got goosebumps, right? Because that is the biggest piece. And so I did have some questions for you around, around gratitude. You talk a lot about gratitude. And how has that practice shaped your life and your business?
Ooh. That's like, we could be here all day, guys.
Right?
Gratitude. If I go back to being the daughter of baby boomers, okay, gratitude at a young age was kind of a forced thing. So like it was not something that I wanted to do because it was, you have to write the thank you note for every single thing because mom was taking notes as to what Christmas presents we opened, right? And who they were from.
That
and
is
so
something,
then,
yeah.
And so then I had to write those thank you notes, right? But that is connection. Like if you do it with that heart that says, wow, thank you. Like really, you thought of me.
Right.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I have like received beautiful cards from you. And it like when I didn't even know, like, and he wasn't even paying attention to my life. And you sent me these amazing cards. And one was like, I was doing bucket list items and it was the hot air balloon.
Yes.
And that was so big for me. And I thank you so much. And another person that we both are connected to that we love very much, Jessica Notaboom.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another woman that also does that.
Yeah.
And so what, like, more about that,
Well, so with gratitude, it's also stopping and seeing that person, right? Like you're saying, you felt seen.
So much.
And so with sending a card in the mail or picking up the phone and sending that text, making that phone call, connection. So it's one-to-one. When I preach about connection, it's, okay, how did you touch that person? Like I get down like, how did you touch that person or their business or what have you? Because it's about connection, right? And yet I can say something that to you makes you feel seen and loved and also can speak more of that into you, right? Like cheer you on, right? Like what's next? Let's go.
Yeah.
Right? And now part of me is like jealous that you got to go on this hot air balloon ride and I didn't, right?
Right.
And so maybe it's a little bit of like living through you, right? Of like, you did this thing, right? Instead of in that emotion of poor me. Why didn't I get to go? I didn't get invited or whatever, right?
Because that sometimes comes up. And I think that
in that comparison mentality.
Oh my gosh. It is a stealer of joy, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
And so then when you can meet that person and just be like, I see you. How cool was that? Way to go. I appreciate you sharing this with me or what have you.
Yeah.
Right? And you then feel gratitude.
I felt so special. I mean, really, I cannot thank you enough. Like, there's been a couple times and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, or monumental parts of my life where I'm scared of heights, So that was for me, like, I might have not shared that with the world, but I was so afraid. And you saw me in that and took those beautiful photos and reminded me of the courage that it took for me to get in that basket.
Yeah.
Right.
And see, I don't know those things.
Right.
When I send that card and say thank you or I'm excited about you or whatever you're doing, right?
Right.
You take that and you look at that and you say, I did that thing. I can do scary stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I can, like, look at me.
Right?
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Because, so first of all, we're in 2025. If anybody wasn't sure
right.
about that.
2025.
Okay. We don't print pictures. Right?
Right.
And yet, if we receive a picture of ourselves, we're going to keep it because it's 2025 and like we're celebrating ourselves, right? And then you get that reminder of you pumping yourself up saying, I can do hard stuff. I can do fun stuff. I can do scary stuff. I can do blah, 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 right?
Yes.
And so you're speaking this positive affirmation into your life that I have no power over, right? Like, I have no say. I can just celebrate you.
Ah, girl.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. Again,
But you have to
do
experience it. You have to do it. Like, when it comes to connection, like, you have... I've been thinking about this a lot since we were like, we're doing this thing and we're talking about these things.
Yeah.
And so connection, there's a couple different sayings or thoughts. First, attention is not connection.
Ooh.
So if you go online and drop that picture, okay, yeah, fine.
Right.
Okay. It's not connection until you hear that story or get that card in the mail or, right? It's not connection until it's connection. Like,
Right.
Attention is not connection.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then the second comes from John Deloney. He's a psychologist. I don't know if it's him or someone he had on his show, but they said addiction is the opposite of connection, not recovery.
Oh, interesting.
Addiction is the opposite of connection, because if you're connected to yourself, to your God, to the people around you,
Right.
addiction has no place.
Oh, beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
And so then we go to, okay, how do I get connection? How do I tell myself I can do hard things when stuff is hard?
So on that piece, right? Like, how can we, because I love sending letters in the mail and I was so good for so many years and I'm a busy girl. So like, how do we then take that piece like you have, if that's something that brings joy to us, how do we then put it in our planner? Like, is there something that you've found with your clients or different things that you've been able to help people be able to build that connection, right? What are some of those things?
Yeah.
The
So
tools.
one of the 4 elements of identity-based planning is connection.
Okay.
It's relationships, it's people.
Okay.
And so in the planner that I've designed, there is a section for people and just names. Whether you're praying for someone, you have to send somebody a card, you have to call them, you have to set up a play date, you have to coffee, whatever.
Right.
Right? People. And so having that list of people, every time you open your planner, you're like, oh yeah, Leah. Oh yeah, Josie, or whoever
Yeah,
it is.
whoever it
right?
is.
And they come top of mind. And then you pick up the phone and call. You're like, maybe a text isn't enough. Maybe a prayer isn't enough. I need to pick up that phone. Right?
And actually have that connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just having that list of people, whether, like I said, whether it's someone you're following up with in business or grandma,
Right.
everybody in between, it's connection. And putting that name in front of you is that trigger to, and maybe you don't know why they're on your list, right? But you
That
wrote them
has
down.
happened to me,
Yes.
right? Like, I feel it and I'm like, this person keeps coming to mind and I have to reach out or I have to celebrate them in some way. And
Because if we don't, we get hard on ourselves.
Right.
Right?
Or we miss the call sometimes, right? We
Yeah.
miss the call of whatever this, call it God, call it universe, whatever, that's kind of piquing us or pushing us, to make impact. I always talk about impact with my clients. And so that's a big piece for me is if you feel that calling within you, right? To do something, it's like, okay, make the first step, like pray with your legs, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good one
Yep.
for me because sometimes I'll sit back for a lot of years. I just sat back and just was afraid, right, of rejection or some of those things. And now it's like, well, I'm a little bit messy. Here I am. I'm a little weird. You'll hear me say that a lot. I'm weird. This is what's going on.
It'll be fine.
And just owning it. And so I think that some of those pieces, right, are, pray with your legs, make that first step.
Yeah. And you also have this opportunity to build trust with yourself. When you act on those things and you actually do it, and it was the perfect time. right? Like,
Right?
I called my friend Sarah 2 weeks ago, and she's like, seriously, you're calling me today? When I was like, I needed to talk to you, and I hadn't called you yet. And it's like,
Right.
yeah, here we are.
Right? I wonder if anyone that's listening like has felt that, right?
Yeah.
So again,
but you're building that trust with yourself. You're building that muscle. And so then you can go out and do the next thing. And you can do that thing for a stranger. And you can, right? Like you can do the hard, scary thing next time because you trust yourself, right?
Oh,
like,
yes.
well, my intuition, God told me to do this thing and it worked then.
Right.
So, and then it worked then. And then it worked. Well, why wouldn't it work now?
Right. That trust, right? And something that we don't always see or can't, can't grasp or something. And that's been happening for my life lately is like doors have been opening like crazy for me. And it's a little emotional because there's some doors closing and there's some grief happening, but there's also all this beautiful stuff happening. So again, I love the trust yourself.
Yeah. Earlier we were just chatting and I was like, ooh, I felt some openness there. Like,
yeah,
Jamie's
Jamie's
open.
opening. Like it's, I'm seeing something that might have shackled me or kept me like bound and kind of feeling like stuck actually is starting to open up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like the sky is the limit right now.
Yep.
So I had a question on here too that really kind of resonated with me. But for the women listening who feel stuck or unsure of her next move, what would you say to her right now?
Do the next right thing. Do the next right thing. Because that builds trust. That just goes right into what we just said. When you do the next right thing, whether it's a bubble bath, calling grandma, picking up the phone and calling that client that hung up on you, or like everything in between, just do the next right thing. If there's going to be the next right thing that allows or that has flow to it. It's not going to have resistance. Some do. Some do. Not making promises, but when you do the next right thing, you're building that muscle. Just like we were just saying, you're building that trust.
Right.
And so if you don't know what to do, be present in the next thing that you do.
I love that. Yeah. And I talk about with my clients, we talk about showing up, right? In our authentic self. And I think I had another question for you because I love the fact that you are real. Like I've always felt that with you, like you are a real woman. Like you are real, you shoot it the way that you're feeling it and you're so full of heart. But my question was, you're someone who keeps it real. And what's a recent moment where you had to take your own advice?
Besides every day. No, so I have this group. It's a peer mentorship group. It's called ISO Prosperity Sisterhood.
Okay.
And we keep it real every single week. And so we sit down. I sit on like a 10-minute soapbox about something. I'm sure you could take an excerpt from this and it could be a sisterhood session. But I sit on that soapbox for 5 to 10 minutes and then we talk about it. Like, how does this apply in my life or business or momhood or what have you as individuals? And there's some fun like peer pressure and stuff going on. They're like, do it, girl, or yeah, been there, whatever it might be.
Right.
But when I bring things to that group, they're usually something I've been through. And then I take a moment and see, okay, how does that reapply to my life?
Okay.
And then in those sessions, I ask a question like, where does this take you? And so recently, in this last week, one of our sessions was on keeping your pencil sharp.
Oh, give me more on this.
Oh, here
here it is.
You can go to my YouTube channel, but
right. Well, yeah, and we want to talk about that because if people want to find you, I also want to direct them to you.
We can do that.
Again, I have Shayna's information that we will share later too.
Yeah.
But okay,
but here it is. Okay, if you want a repeat of this, you can go there, but you'll get it here. So. This idea, and it'll be different because it's coming out of me differently, right? It's been It's been like 48 hours or something. A pencil, if it's brand new in the box, it's useless. Like, you can't get to the lead. You can't use it for what it's designed for. Right?
Right. Because they're flat. Like,
Yeah.
haven't
Unless
been
you have the
sharpened.
perfect curved paper, you can maybe make a mark out of an unsharpened
Right.
pencil, right? But you can't use it to write with. The intended use.
Right.
Right? And so when you sharpen it, now you can use it. So what are you sharpening? Like, what are your pencils?
Oh, I got you.
Okay.
I got you. Yeah. That's
So,
deep stuff right there.
I know. And sometimes I'm like, I surprise myself when I bring these to our sisterhood group. But okay, so you have this pencil. Now you've sharpened it because you knew what it was capable of,
Right.
right? And yet you bought it unusable. You saw it unusable, knowing it was still a pencil, right? And so when you see a characteristic or a thing that you want to work for, it kind of goes to that idea or that belief of, if you see it, you can receive it. If you believe it, you can have it, right?
Okay. Kind of like the manifestation, kind of? Is that kind of where we're going? Okay.
But then also, like, if you believe it, you can have it, right?
Okay.
So, and then also in characteristics. And so if I'm like, you know what, I really like how Jamie shows up every single day, right? I've been hiding in a hole for X amount of years. I don't know if I could ever show up like Jamie does, right? If you're saying that to yourself.
Okay.
Well, I saw it, which means it exists in me. It just needs to be sharpened.
Oh, yeah. And I've had relationships. I get goosebumps again. Yes. So like, I've seen that where other people, and that's, I think, where my awakening journey kind of happened years ago, is like, I started seeing these amazing pieces in other people. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, when I shared with the women in business, I mean, in 2017, I stood on a stage in front of 400 women and I told my story. And I was so afraid, but there was something deeper in, but I sharpened that, right? These women came around me, these mentors, and kind of held me in that. And so from that, the doors just started opening on authenticity and the real story about where I came from, not, you know, me not talking about it, or like, you know, I love how you share your stories and these true things with, you know, with Lee. And I mean, I just think about, when I think about Lee, I think about sunflowers, and I think about just the things that you have brought to the table, which, I mean, I've had some loss too, and I just didn't talk about it. It's just something that I wasn't able to. It's just something I kept really held deep. And so when you started talking about it, it gave me actually opportunity to be able to grieve some of these pieces, and then also to acknowledge. And so as we're talking, I don't know, that's what's coming up for me. And I just want to thank you for your vulnerability and your honesty and your truth, and sharpening those tools, right? Because it probably wasn't easy to maybe it was, I don't know, for you, but I know that that was also hard, that vulnerability piece, when you would share and just being holding space for you. It was true honor to hold space for you.
Wow, thank you. Where that goes, if we think about connection, Cody Bateman, in his book Promptings, he says, find out who you are and then give yourself away.
Oh, I've heard that. Oh, I think you told me that before.
I'm sure I have.
You're so good. Yes, that's a good one.
So, in sharing and in vulnerability, I've shared what I've processed, because, and sometimes as I process it, it becomes shareable, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And yet, because there's also that messiness part of loss and processing and all of that, and that's not giveawayable. Like, I don't want to put that on you, right?
Yeah, there's a piece of trauma dumping, right? But there's also this other piece.
Right. And so when I write and when I share, whether it's the story of losing my son or, I don't know, any of the stories I've shared today, right? I want to give something away in that, right? Then it's not just about Kelsey, who we talked about earlier, right? And then it's not just about me and my story, it's about you and yours, right? And so I'll share what it is that I have gone through. A lot of times I'll write in present tense, like this is how I am and how I'm feeling, and then I'll change it all to past tense so that it can be given away, and leaving with a note with, you got this, girl, or if you've ever felt XYZ, you're not alone, or asking a question, to where it's not leaving them with that heaviness, it's giving them something.
Oh, I love that. What a gift, right?
Right.
Oh, what a gift. I mean, that piece right there is, giving away something. And I think that's, I'm a writer too, right? I mean, I write all the time, and I'm vulnerability as a piece and learning discernment, right? And I think that has been one of my biggest ahas or tools, is to be able to, how can somebody else apply what I'm learning to their own life, or maybe does it spark something? It sparks something within them. And so how do you give it away? I love that. Like, for our audience or for the people listening, I mean, that is something, right? Like, what a gem, what a gold nugget from this conversation.
Yeah, because, and that goes back to connection.
Yes.
Because if you don't, I don't know, this is just by a lesson I'm learning with you. Here's your answer to your question. But if you don't give it away, if you don't leave them with something for them, it becomes attention and not connection. You're sharing
so bringing
something
that around. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
See, I'm still full circling this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So say that one more time.
Okay. So if I share an experience, right? Share some of that processing of whatever it is that I've been through. If I don't offer something for you to take from that, it's just dumping. It's just attention versus connection.
Connection.
And it's that simple passing it off in, like, this is what my story is, what's yours?
So, and I've, now that I'm doing this coaching and I'm working a lot more with clients, I've noticed with myself that my mentors, I've gone to them as well, as this empathy piece within me, because I have such empathy and I feel so deeply that I had to start kind of regulating myself, because I would take on other people's pain. And so I love that piece of maybe helping people also see the other side, and asking that question, like, how can you give up this to the others in our lives, and how do we bring connection, right? And so how can this be a gift, a gem to somebody else? And gosh, I love that. Gosh, I love that.
And you can even bring that around to gratitude, right? So yes, I've been through this thing.
Right.
But how can this serve me? Right?
Right.
And the Bible says in 1 Thessalonians, and I don't know the verse, be grateful in all things, not for all things.
Ooh, in all things.
In all things. And so even when you're in it, there's gratitude to be had.
And I do feel that, because that's a lesson I've been learning too, is that even through the storm, right, there's something to be grateful for. And there for a long time, like the storm wouldn't be happening and I'd be so focused on the storm. And it was like, oh wait, actually all of this other things, I can see the sun shining and all of that. And so practicing that gratitude in that has gotten so much better. And I don't give energy to the storm really, because I know it's going to pass. I mean, honestly, I know it's going to pass. So it's like, oh, okay, this is happening, right? And I can acknowledge it for what it is, but then I just don't hold on to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so gratitude is actually one of the highest vibration emotions. Okay. I don't know the order of all of it, but like love and joy are right up there.
Right.
Okay. Love and joy are a little more, I don't know, like individualized, or they have their own little definitions or things like that, right? But gratitude you can choose. And yes, you can choose love and you can choose joy, right? But when was the last time you chose gratitude?
Right. I choose it every day, baby.
Yes.
I choose it every day. But I totally feel that.
Like on the scale of emotions, you can choose that emotion.
Okay.
And so when you look at it from that perspective of I've reached rock bottom or I have nothing left, right? You can choose gratitude. And gratitude, no matter how low you feel, gratitude is going to pull you up.
Oh, amen, sister.
Oh my gosh.
I feel that.
Like,
Absolutely feel that.
And yet it doesn't have to be for the thing that's pulling you down.
Ooh, I like that.
Right? So like if you're like, I lost my son. I'm not grateful for that.
Right.
But I'm grateful for a million things. Like all the relationships, all the connection, my beautiful daughter, like, I have so much gratitude. And I can have gratitude through these tears.
Right.
And it's just such a big, beautiful thing. But it's that thing, like if you had two emotions tied together, right? And you bring gratitude in, it pulls the other one up. And I don't know, like that visual to me, pulling that other one up, like that one is the one that needs to be dealt with a little bit more, right? But like if you're all the way down here, you can't deal with much.
Right.
But when you choose gratitude, it can kind of just pull the other stuff out of the muck, dust it off a little bit.
And for me, that gratitude gave me hope.
Yeah.
It gave me like something to focus on other than, because I've had some stuff happen in my life, and no, I'm not grateful that happened, you know, and but I also, there was other things to be grateful for. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I celebrate, you know, so many things in life, and there's some things I don't want to celebrate. Like I don't celebrate that doesn't feel good, that hurts or whatever. I'm not going to celebrate it, but I'm not going to give it in that energy anymore. And I think for a long time in my life, I would give it that energy. And so now if I feel it and I feel it in the body and I'm like, oh yeah, nope, not today, Junior, not today, you know?
Yep.
And so,
you can be like, no, I choose gratitude.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think what it is like, it also is like, I can wake up in the morning and something might feel heavy, or I might have a message, or there's something that somebody has said or something, and it feels really heavy. And then I find something to be grateful for. I find, you know, like you said, I might reach out to somebody and celebrate them or their achievements or something. And that's a tool that I've been able to use, is like, okay, like, yes, it's part of my life, but I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on Shayna, because she is doing some amazing things. There's an amazing woman that I love watching, Becca. Becca is just rock starring it out. Or my employees, right? I love celebrating them and the things that they're doing and having that connection. And not being in the mud. Like I'm done being in the mud. I've seen what the mud is, and
You can choose negativity too.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I did for a lot of years, right? I did, and I would allow myself like to be in bed and not move for like, you know, and to have conversation that was negative. And now I'm just like, no, I'm going to celebrate you. I understand like this might be the way you're feeling or whatever, but I choose not to simmer in it, you know?
Yeah. I remember, so this last fall, well, almost 2 years ago, my husband left his corporate job and went logging.
Oh my gosh.
And so he came home, he's like, I'm going to go logging. And 8 days later, he was in the woods. It was a whirlwind craziness thing.
Wow.
And so like no matter what, okay, whether it's a choice or you know, like he made this decision or a situation, you can choose gratitude, right?
Yeah.
And so honestly, and no judgment, okay? But okay, maybe a little because I am who I am. But
yes, own it, baby.
Okay, you can have an adult-sized tantrum about things,
right?
Or you can choose gratitude. Like that's just my visual that I get, right? And so like he comes home, does this thing. We have to whirlwind, buy a camper, and like,
oh my gosh,
it's all this craziness. And I'm just like, you know what? We have a paid-for house. Let's go.
Amen.
Like, how cool is it? Gratitude, right?
Right.
How cool is it that we can just like pick up and do this thing?
Right. You look for that positive piece. That. Oh.
And then just a few months ago, we moved back into the camper for 2 months, and I'm over there like we're setting it up, and I'm just like in this zone, and my husband's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Dude, I am so much in gratitude." That I can just like pick up my life and be with you in the woods and still be able to do my thing.
Right.
Because like the level of gratitude that I have that I still get to be able to be a motivational coach after losing my son and going through another traumatic birth experience and just like scary stuff. And God still lets me do this every day. Like the gratitude in that I just can sit in every day, it just blows my mind sometimes.
Right.
But yeah, I was standing in the middle of the woods setting up our camper, and I'm like, this is it, man. Like, bring it on.
Oh my gosh.
Like, yes, yes, I will show up and move my family into the woods to be a family and yet the gratitude of my husband's boss giving us Starlink internet. So it was like my home away from home. Yeah. It didn't even matter.
Oh my gosh.
But I was sitting in there and he's like, "Are you okay?" Like, dude, I am so okay.
Sometimes like I've noticed though, like before, like the more I just step into that gratitude, the more these things keep happening that are just celebrating. I mean, like just in the last week, I was going through some stuff and some emotional things, but then all of this stuff started like coming to me and I'm like celebrating like beyond belief. So like these other things were not even affecting me. And I'm like, oh, this is wild. Like my life is so different, and the way that I've reacted or seen life has just kind of flip-flopped. Like, yes, there's hardships. Yes, there's some grief in there, but there is so much to be celebrated right now, you know? Yeah. Oh, girl.
I love it.
Okay, so let's get to this connection and community. Yeah, there's more. There's always more. Because we are both so much about community. Like, I just love humans. Like, I just love connection. I love that. I think that's why we get along so well. But how do you intentionally build meaningful connections in your life around business?
Ooh. Around business, we can get really businessy, or we can stay in connection, or we can do both.
Right.
Right? Like, if we're staying in connection, right? You're a community, right?
Oh,
Different C word, right?
Yeah.
When you keep that in focus, you're like, this is what I'm doing. I'm building connection. I'm building impact. And if they're moving towards connection, I'm doing my job.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? And so sending you a card with a picture of a hot air balloon on it. right?
Yeah, my picture of all things. It was like my picture. I was like, oh my gosh,
I have an app
beautiful.
for that.
I have an app for that. We're going to share that app because it is brilliant. I'm just telling you.
But if you are doing you, right?
Yeah.
Then I get to do me. And we all just get to do our thing.
Yes.
I don't know. So
I have a relationship like that. I'm like, you do you, I do me, and we do us. Like, in the friendship, because it's just so beautiful how it works that way, you know?
Yeah. But there's strategic things. There's in the kind of punchy and gentle way of writing that I do, allowing that growth, right? To where they're doing their connection piece for them, kind of being a facilitator of that.
Okay.
But then there's also strategy. It's the way I write. It's how an email is written. It's how an invitation is made. But then it's just human to human. And right now, for myself in business, I'm like, okay, but how do I scale that?
Right.
Because building a coaching business one-to-one, to me, it's been a few years. I'm like, okay, this is easy, right? Like this can be done. So the scaling,
but you're also trading. I mean, because when we actually get down to it, right? And this is like something that I've really thought around is money, right? Money has never really drove me. I mean, it just doesn't. Community connection, it drives me. It drives me to be there for people and hold space or whatever. I say that a lot, like holding space. But it truly is for me is those connections. And so for me, I have to live. I'm a single mom, you know what I mean? And like I have to be able to make it for my family. And so sometimes I have all these mentors that are actually really good with money and they kind of keep me on the, up and up. But it's like, doing this business, if I could give away coffee for free every day, I totally would. If I could meet with people and do it for free, I would totally do it. But it's scaling it, right? So the one-to-one I've learned, like for me financially, wasn't really a good use of my time. And so meeting with groups or, I have that Next Level Collective and working with groups of women, teaching them how to communicate was really important. But that's where I'm able to make enough money to be able to continue doing it and helping more people, but also to be able to, feed my family, you know? And so, with you.
Oh man, you can give it away all day long and you want to, right? And yet there's this beautiful thing called the transformation, right?
Ooh,
in order for them to receive the full transformation from you, there has to be some skin in the game.
Skin in the game, baby.
And that means
an
that
energy
transaction,
transfer, right?
Yeah, they need to pay you. And like you can all day long, friends, family, people off the street, like you'll give it away, right?
Right.
But at some point that money has to exchange hands because it's that skin in the game, right? It's that transaction like fosters the transformation.
Well, it's interesting because I've learned too is there's some people that I've been able to connect with, and it's an interesting thing. I do the barter system too, right? Like I'm all about that. You've got something that I need, I've got something that you need, and so it's for me, it's not always financial, right? Sometimes, I mean, obviously it has to be, and there is clients that's the only transfer is financial, but there's other clients that we trade based on the fact that I need it too, and if I was going to get that, it would be money, right? And so we were able to help each other, and especially in today's world, right? I mean, things are so expensive, and the money, whatever, but it's an exchange of energy. Is kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Like when I say that, like that transfer of energy, how have you been able to utilize that in your life?
The biggest thing is that investment, right? And so that transfer of energy, that's them saying yes fully, right?
Yeah.
It's them like, oh yeah, okay, right? They're opening up. They've opened up their wallet, right? They're opening up to that next thing. They're investing in themselves. And so that,
I think it's praying with your legs too, right?
Yeah.
There's things that I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know. But once I do it and once I make that commitment, it's like, oh, I'm in now. You know, there's that energy transfer.
yep. I have a client right now. We're in trade, right?
Oh,
I've got one client in trade and a couple that I work with, but I'm also get to be a stay-at-home mom. So
Right.
I have my limits too, or make my limits anyway. But I was just telling her, she came to me and she said, she had received this review back, and I said, oh, sounds like you need to raise your prices, because that transfer of energy wasn't great enough. And so that person made the investment with her, but then didn't do the work.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I was like, oh, got to raise your prices.
Right.
Period.
Because, and there is some clients that I have that are, the fear is too great, right? And we're able, and you're not in it. And so, and I've understood that too. For me, usually it has to take a pretty big, substantial, like, kind of like jump off a cliff for me, right? And I'll do it, and I've done it a ton of times. And, you know, now something that I might have, like, 10 years ago balked at and been like, oh my gosh, I'm like, yeah, I'm in. I'm not like, you know, totally into it. So yeah, I totally get that. So here's another question for you. This one I do not want to lose is, you're a mom, you're a wife, you're an entrepreneur. How do you stay connected to yourself in the midst of all of that? Like coming home to yourself.
Yeah. I think it starts with affirmations and mantras.
Okay.
And so just reminding myself who I am and what I do and why I do it. I also, with my clients, I call it confidence stacking. And so reminding myself of doing the hard things, right?
Right.
And stacking those experiences, going into new ones. But then day to day, it's being in that present moment. And so like as a mom and a wife, and being at home all day with a toddler, like, thank God for nap time. Like,
yes, amen, sister.
Amen. And being married to a logger, he leaves really early in the morning, so I have some early morning time as well. But connection starts with you, and then with God, and then with other people. And so how you can, and you and God are kind of mixed in, like you decide. Right.
I mean, mine's usually at 3:30 in the morning. I wake up, right? And that's me and God time.
Yeah. Like, what do you got today, God?
All right. This morning was a Bible verse that just popped into my head. So
Yes.
And then it's like, oh, okay. What do you need me to hear or learn from this? But
Yeah. I think it's also just slowing down and remembering who it is that you are in that moment. Right? Like, okay, right now I'm a mom. Right now I'm a wife.
Right.
So kind of some of that separation.
Okay.
But then also communication. So, hey, honey, I really need like 3 minutes to myself so I can respond to this message that came in an hour ago. Right? Because sometimes you just have to remove yourself to go do the thing and then come back.
Yes.
Right? And communication creates that symbiotic relationship, right?
Okay.
Versus having to, it's the same as setting a boundary or establishing a boundary, but it's not like this thing, right?
Okay.
It's, hey, honey, I just need 3 minutes.
Right.
Like,
just give me a little bit of time.
And it's the same as a boundary, but I didn't call it a boundary, so it's not as scary, I guess. I don't know.
Right. We work around these things.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. All right, well, we're kind of getting down. I've got a couple more just rapid fire and just fun and light things. But I want to ask, what is one thing that you would tell, like, my clients or the people watching right now that has been your biggest aha?
Ooh. It goes back to you make your own rules.
Oh, yeah, girl.
It really does. I mean, that's boundaries, that's your time, that's your calendar, that's your relationships, all of it. You decide. And so when you decide, everything else is coming with you. So what are you taking?
Right.
And what's it going to be? What are the rules?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I think once I learned, because I'd complain about things, but honestly, I was the one putting it on my plate. I'm like, oh, shoot. Like, I'm choosing that. And when I started actually phrasing things that I was talking about is I'm choosing this. Like, okay, like it isn't happening to me, it's happening for me. Like, that was a big aha moment. But yeah, it's choosing this. So beautiful. All right, rapid fire, fun and light. So morning ritual you swear by.
Journaling.
Ooh, girl, I love that. I'm a journaler too. So
bedtime is chaotic.
Yeah.
Bedtime's like,
especially
if
with
I
a
get
toddler.
my pajamas on the same time she does, life is good. If I get the coffee in the pot before bed, life is good. Journaling, not so much. In the morning, journaling.
That's your piece. Okay, I love that. A quote or mantra you live by.
Mary is part of the deal. That's my daughter.
Oh, I got
Mary is part
gooses on that one too.
Mary is part of the deal.
Okay.
Yep.
That sounds like a firm boundary too. Like this is my piece.
Yeah. Ugh. I mean, every once in a while she'll interrupt sisterhood. I usually work during her nap times.
Okay.
But like, she's part of the deal.
Part of the deal.
Which also means like I can work around her, and she doesn't have to be part of our deal here today. Right? Like, but essentially, like, that's what my day revolved around, was my daughter, right? I'm like, okay, get her set off with a friend, peace out. Like, Mary's part of the deal.
Oh, I love that.
And it also helps me be like just that present mom of like how I got here today physically. Like, okay, Mary's part of the deal. She's not a burden. She's not, right? Like, all those things. She's part of the deal. So what's it gonna be?
Okay, I love that one. And then one thing you always keep in your planner.
That's a trick question.
I know.
Because I have 4. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
The one thing I always keep in my planner. I'm visualizing my planner right now. I'm like, what's the one thing?
What's the one thing?
Space. Honestly, like the prosperity and notes section of my planner is the biggest part. And so whether it's a quote to lay down or something to just resonate with or meditate over, like I said, a quote, something you heard. Oh, I need to connect so-and-so with so-and-so. Like, not necessarily on my people list, but a thing to do or meditate on, or my notes section.
Oh, I love it. Good girl. All right, so these are our people. How do they find you if they're interested? And I will put all of this stuff, the information that Shayna has given us, and kind of wrap that up to kind of allow you guys to find her. But how do we find you, girl?
Yeah, ShaynaHargens.com.
ShaynaHargens.com. I'll put that out there.
My sisterhood is ISOprosperity.com. That's where the invitation is for that. I'm on YouTube. I'm I don't know. I'm on LinkedIn, but whatever. Right? We're on Facebook.
I'm a terrible LinkedIn girl, but
just shoot me a friend request or a message. My links are all on my page too, and I'm sure you'll tag me on this video and
absolutely.
All the things, so they'll find me.
Yay!
Yeah.
Girl, I thank you so much. I thank you so much for sharing with the people that have connected with me, and and we just. Yeah. One more thing for the mamas out there, right? Like, my mamas and the kids are so important to me. What is one thing that you can tell that mama that is just struggling a little bit right now? Because you've been there. And so how do we uplift them today?
Another mantra, just do the next right thing.
Just do the next right thing.
Yeah.
All right,
build
everybody.
that self-trust.
Okay. Beautiful. Build self-trust. Do the next right thing.
Yes.
Lotus Vision Chronicles is all about real stories, real connection, real conversation. And so thank you guys for joining us and seeing us on this live video, and we'll be posting later on about how you find this girl.
Sounds
all right.
good.
Have a good night.
Thank you.